Welcome back. Tens of thousands of customers who were ripped off by banks are set to receive thousands of pounds in compensation. The banking industry today abandoned its legal battle over payment protection insurance, which they sold to people who didn't need it or couldn't claim it.
It leaves high street banks, including Barclays and Lloyds, with bills totalling billions of pounds. Our consumer editor Chris Choi investigates how the banks got away with it.
Compensation claims are pouring in, and what's emerging now is Britain's biggest protection racket, payment protection insurance, making banks billions.
They're not being as helpful as possible.
Customers were sold policies to cover loan repayments in the event of illness or unemployment, but many didn't need the insurance or could never have claimed.
I've never benefited from it. It was missold. I'm entitled to my money back, and I'd like it as soon as possible. If you owe the bank, they take the money. When they owe you, they take a long time to pay it back. And I've been making those payments in good faith.
The epic scale of all this is revealed in the vast sums banks have already put aside for possible compensation. Here at Lloyds, £3.2 billion. At Barclays, £1 billion. At HSBC, £270 million. But there will be delays in customers getting their hands on this cash.
Frontline staff in the banks will have heard about that news at the same time as we did. So I think it's going to take the banks some days to gear up.
Even though they've known that this is a possibility for months and months.
The banks have been putting a lot of their complaints on hold for the last 6 months. There are an awful lot of people waiting for an answer.
Have you taken out a loan in the past 6 years? There's a chance you might be entitled to thousands of pounds.
The entire compensation industry has been spawned by a consumer scandal, now expected to top both endowment and pension mis-selling. But how did it all go so wrong? This is a financial services insider who has spent the last year investigating industry documents.
People don't actually apply for PPI. So here's an example. The gentleman said, no, I don't want PPI. PPI has been charged.
Despite him ticking the box saying he didn't want this kind of insurance, he was still somehow sold it.
He was still sold it, he was still charged it, and we've tried to claim it back, and the bank is still arguing that really they should charge it.
Banks will pay out between £7 and £9 billion. On average, claims have been worth £2,750. Many in the city believe already battered reputations will take a further pounding.
But if we're ever going to get over the stigma that has been left by the banking crisis, it is important that the banks step up to the plate, don't complain, and pay up.
Banks are just the start. From car dealerships to furniture sellers, payment protection insurance was rife. Tonight, they all find themselves embroiled in Britain's biggest mis-selling scandal. Chris Choi, ITV News.
And if you want full details on how to claim compensation, just go to our website, itv.com/news, where Chris has made a film telling you what to do with a list of helpful numbers and websites.